welcome back. Good morning for this fun Friday. I am here with my husband, Joe. Welcome, Joe.
Hi there, Lisa.
It's looking like you still need that pot of coffee.
Yeah. Here, I'll get really buggy-eyed.
So thank you for joining me. I was really disappointed earlier, actually, that Facebook took away the ability for me to invite a guest on a live stream video. I had no idea. So I really wanted to put Joe in the hot seat, and doing it via the text isn't quite the same. So it looks
Right.
like Joe is busy sharing this out on his Facebook page,
Well,
I'm
sharing
guessing.
it, but also I'll bring up the comment feed so that way we can see.
Ah,
I can see them.
oh, good point. Because I have in my hand my other electronic piece of equipment is my iPad, which has a very special timer on it, and we're going to give you like table topic style questions, Joe, today.
Yeah, that's what I understood from the earlier try. So take two, right?
So in between, Joe says to me, he says, take it easy on me, okay?
Yeah. Geez, can you ask for the book first?
Hey, corresponding colors. So I did have a question come in while we were gone, so that's good. But here's what we're doing today, okay? I have 10 questions written down, and half of them are just kind of get to know you, lighthearted kind of questions. And the other half of them are questions that I've been asked and people want to know the answers to, things about growing and, a little bit more leadership mindset type focus questions. Okay. So we want to make sure that we hit at least 3 on that side.
Yeah.
Okay. And if you happen to get all of the lighthearted questions before you get to those, well, so be it. We're going to hear a little bit more about you and experience that. So the way you're choosing your questions this morning is through these colors. I have 10 colors here.
Yeah, they're much better in looking now
They're
what I can
much better when
see.
you can actually see them.
Yes.
And basically, you've got your standard red, green, yellow, orange, blue, purple, white. Instead of black, I have gray. But what color would you like to start with?
Well, I really got wiped out with blue and green, so I think we're going to avoid those for the moment. Let's go.
Well,
Is there yellow?
I'm going to be
Was there
honest. Those
yellow?
questions have now shifted.
Yeah, you kind of took the colors out of the screen, so now I can't see them at all. Thank you. How about yellow?
Ooh, yellow. Well, this should be a super easy one at this point in the game. What are you curious about right now?
Yeah, I don't know. So hopefully the feed is working out there. If you are seeing this, please say hi. Can we see you? Because I'm not getting a picture back. So hopefully this is all working that people can see it. But we'll go ahead with what I'm curious about. So one of the things that I've been working on this past week, as you know, Lisa, we've been in the study of Think and Grow Rich for the 5th time with our mentors, Paul and Roddy. And so the curiosity is about what I'm going to get out of this particular study that will help me for the next 6 months, year, something to look forward to look at it a different way, see what I can come up with that will be leading me to a higher awareness than I was. So that's one curiosity. The other curiosity is waiting to see you come back.
Well, you don't have much longer to wait.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, I have been so blessed. Oh my goodness. God works in mysterious ways. I tell you, it was one of those things I didn't think that I would be able to be in Wisconsin this week, and it came together so amazingly. From the airline ticket to finding somebody to sub for me with my students to um, being able to surprise Rebecca. Hannah was in on that surprise, and just really being here to support Hannah in um, graduating as an esthetician. So that's pretty exciting. So I've got the timer is telling me we need to move on. So you can choose your next color, Joe.
Oh, my next color. Oh, what is that? Is that like orange or something there near?
Yeah, there's an orange here.
Okay. Aren't you glad I'm here to see you? I got my orange
Well,
shirt on.
you're on a roll. You're still on the same light-hearted ish side. This one's a little bit deeper though. What do you wish you would have known when you started out?
Started out what?
So
Good point.
when you can take that question wherever you want. You can say started out as an adult. You can say started out in your current career and kind of enlighten people there, or you can take that however you want.
Well, geez, I could go way back to my childhood and say that I wish I knew that it wasn't so dangerous to be at the end of the street. You know, we live 5 blocks off the main highway, 14-mile road there in Warren and Van Dyke. So it was a busy intersection, but my parents were always telling me, "Don't go beyond the house. It's dangerous out there." You know, so I would have loved to know that it wasn't that dangerous. You had to be careful, but it's not like people were jumping the curb all the time. Going
You
to
know, it kind of reminds me of, even as an adult, I hear this a lot. People say you can't do something, and they have it set in their mind that you can't because it's an unconventional thing to do, or you're just not fully resourced to do it, or they'll come up with whatever reason, and we listen. And that was the biggest thing that stuck out to me when I felt called to walk across the country. Is people are just going to automatically tell me, no, you can't do it.
right.
But I chose that unconventional path and went forward with it. And it's amazing what can happen when you're willing to think outside the box and be brave enough to just be mindful, but to go experience those things that you want to experience.
Well, it was interesting that it played into. I guess I had a fear about going beyond the property line already, so that just played in and reinforced it. Said, "Don't do it. Don't do it." And kind of led into Halloween. It's like Halloween. So you had 10 houses on the block, and then you had to go to another block. So it was okay to walk to the next block for for Halloween candy, but don't go during the rest of the 364 other days of the year. Because you're going to get plowed. That's it. You're funny. You're hilarious.
Isn't this great though?
Yeah.
I love it. These short answers, they're fun.
Well, it's appreciated because I can't type that fast.
True. We were going to be limiting you to like 6-word answers otherwise.
Oh, guess what? I just said can't. Whoops.
Oh my goodness. All right. Oopsie.
Oh,
we
don't
have
have that crayon
purple,
anymore.
red, pink, green, white, gray.
Oh, let's
blue.
go with red. Good way to end.
Red.
Exit.
All right, we're back on the other side. What is one of the hurdles you face as you pursue your goals, and how do you work to overcome it?
Well, there's probably a number. One, I have to deal with myself. So that's probably the hardest one to manage. The hardest one to lead is me. because at times,
So tell us more about that.
well, at times, I might be a little, just step back. I don't want to go, get out of my comfort zone, and uh, don't necessarily want to comply, to use a term from Star Trek from the Borg. Resistance is
Can you be
futile.
more
You
specific
shall.
so that
Whoops, sorry.
can you be more specific so that we can relate a little bit? Maybe we're facing some of that same struggle.
Okay, so recent example, right? So Circle B, one of the things you asked me, would you go with me to Circle B? Well, Circle B is a wildlife preserve. It's like nature. It's like vultures. We keep passing by the environmental warriors, and we know there's crocodile or alligators out there, and there's snakes, and being close to nature is great up to a point. And so I had to get out of my way of thinking into all the things that are there. And, we see these vultures always sitting around. I'm going, I'm a white guy. I'm easy prey to for them to see me and start pouncing on me thinking that I'm dead, so
Oh my goodness.
but if I got out my way and I did, made it around and saw some of the park, and got through Alligator Alley that usually is shut down at certain times of the year. So I was happy, even though I was oblivious, or tried to make myself oblivious, to the alligators that are sitting on either side waiting to cross the road.
I like that. Getting out of your own way from the thinking that holds you back. Now, just because, you're kind of in the hot seat, you can give them a little bit of background. This doesn't necessarily happen overnight. I had been asking Joe to go to Circle B for a minimum of 2 years, probably 3 years.
All right, extend it out. Whoa.
I had to think about where, you put your timeline of life and where other events that relate to that. But I mean,
well,
that same time period.
Yeah, well, I did go with you in outside of Coquina Beach. On the other side of the roadway was the walkway.
But that was a safe zone with no alligators.
No, well, we don't know.
We don't know.
But there were plenty of bugs. There were plenty of bugs biting in that opportunity.
But I think the whole point that I have in bringing the timing of it up,
yes,
is so often we set goals for ourselves. We have something in our head that we want to do, and we get this idea that we can do it, but it's like there's something there that holds us back. And even though we know, because we've been told it's okay, it'll be fine. You think, just kind of rationalize your way through it. Like the case of the Circle B, it's like, okay, first of all, they're not going to leave it open to the public if alligators are eating people all the time. It's just not going to happen.
Good, not good. Good publicity for the place. Yeah.
But we get it planted in our head that it could, and
they're big.
What ifs hold us back.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for us to get past the what if to the even if I see an alligator, even if there's something that dissuades me from moving forward, there's still that possibility of a success on the other side. So, going to Circle B with you, there was that possibility that we were going to enjoy an amazingly beautiful day, see some incredible parts of nature that we don't normally get to see, and just experience life in a whole new way. And the same is true as we're going forward in our dreams. That mindset piece of it is amazing. I should have put the timer on myself.
Yeah. Even the nest of
I just
baby
get a little
alligators.
excited about that.
Yeah, even the
Huh?
nest of baby alligators in the swampy water, and I'm going like, "Let's go, Lisa, let's go."
Okay.
All right,
So I have that was one question on the right side. Here are the colors that you have left:
white,
green,
white, white.
white. He says that's the second question on that side. Good job. Ding ding ding. For those of you who don't know, Joe is a certified coach with the John Maxwell team. And Joe actually uh, did some coaching with me before we even thought about dating. You know, he was getting started in his journey, and it was intense. You asked some fantastic questions and made me really think and work hard. So, the question I have for you right now: what is one common myth about coaching that you would like to debunk?
Wow.
So something people think
Well, I
about
think,
coaching that
you
it's
know,
not necessarily.
so I think one of the things that we don't think about, we think of coaching more as sports, and we're used to a coach telling us what to do, or, you're going to play this, you're going to work hard, you're going to, get in there, quit being a pansy, or no, I don't know. Sorry, my football coach in high school in the athletic department was, a little over the top. He's like, work out. What do you mean you can't even make it around half the track? Get moving. You're not going to take a shower today if you don't finish.
Oh my.
You're going to be out here all day. So the thing I think with coaching, we think it's an end all be all, that there is a set process. Well, there's a process, but it's not set, because if the coach is doing that job right, it's about actively listening. And it may be there's one question that the coach starts with to get going, and then it goes from there, and it's based on the responses received. And like I said, or like I did with you, Lisa, when we were going through that coaching experience, it was, what did you say, and then, okay, why did you say that, or why do you approach it that way? So it's about investigating and helping the person really uh, think through for themselves, from questions from outside of themselves, to further look at what are the obstacles, what are relationships like, who are the people closest to you. Uh, so we go through a lot of the seven, the W questions: what, why, but not so much why, but what, where, things like that. And rather than saying, you need to go and do this today, you need to go and come back with this for me tomorrow. That would be mentoring from our perspective.
All right. Good answer. It's coaching is amazing, and especially when you can ask those introspective questions. And I think coaches often are big cheerleaders and a huge asset to the success that we desire, because they help us find the answers and iterate the answers that we already have within us. And I think that's hugely powerful. So um, I don't know if anybody's on Facebook right now, just because I can't see that on my
It's on and
technology,
off.
but
People come in and go. So thanks for all those people showing up. Leave a comment. We love to hear you. We love to see you.
it's
Leave a footprint. Leave a footprint here.
yes. So
I know it's a different time you're normally on, so we should
and
probably wrap
definitely
this
we had a
up.
lot of people watching this morning when we were experiencing our little bit of
Yes.
technology fail. We got to learn this morning, so that
Yeah,
was good.
that we have another tool in the toolbox that we need to
Yeah.
bring up.
So this is great. Okay, we're looking for one more question on that side, Joe. Will you manage to find it?
Oh, geez.
Blue, purple, what?
Oh, geez.
No,
Purple.
geez.
Go with purple, I guess.
Ooh, you did it. So this is your last question of the day, and
Wow.
um, I think it's rather interesting that you picked this question, because we kind of touched on it earlier, and you weren't able to give a proper answer simply because you were
Oh, you
tied
turned it
to
around.
the phone. So we can actually hear more of your thought on the reason people fail or give up most commonly. How do we get past that reason?
Okay, so that's a two-parter there. There's several reasons why we don't. One, we're not in love with it. So we'll put it out, I need to lose weight. Or for me, I need to go exercise. But I'm not in love with exercising, sitting on a treadmill or on a stair stepper, or walking up and down like that one activity, Lisa, where for 30 seconds or whatever, you just step up, step down, step up, step down.
Yep.
It's like, well, what? This is gonna help me? It's boring. Like no. Okay, so one, we're not in love with it. Two, we don't see. We don't feel a commitment to it. We say we want to do it, but as soon as something shiny, we can call it the shiny object syndrome, or squirrel, whatever. Great movie, big, squirrel. As soon as we see that, then we're off to something else. If so why do people lose their resolutions at the beginning of the year? Because they're onto something else, and they're not. They say they're committed, but in their heart they're not committed. Because it's, well, if I fail, oh well. How to get, so that's one thing. Another thing would be the goal may be too, or the goal may be too big. We don't break it down to one step, and so we say, oh, I need to lose 50 pounds. Well, I don't, but we need to lose 50 pounds. I need to lose 50 pounds. Well, so if I don't make 50 pounds in the next week, or it's not time specific. It's not looking at, maybe for this week I just need to do the exercise and look for the result to be maybe a pound difference. Oh, I can do that. I did it a couple days ago, right? So it's about following through, and then what are the steps, and is it too big? So getting it to a smaller step, maybe. If you're saying I need to earn $1 million this year, well, did you earn $1 million last year? No. Okay, so what did you earn last year? Well, I earned $100. So it's going to be very hard to think of about $1 million. So maybe $1,000 this week would be a goal. So what's one step you can take that moves you towards it, and then starts building momentum and confidence, and you start getting in love with that goal.
It reminds me of the saying, if you believe it, you can achieve it.
To some extent.
But I think it's, there's a lot of truth behind that statement. If you can truly believe it, and I don't know, I think a lot of times that is the basis behind, our failures, because we don't believe in ourselves. We don't believe in, the possibility of that change being able to happen. We have to have that ground floor of belief. Like you said, we have to be in love with that idea, but it has to be, it's got to be specific. It's got to, the SMART goals, that was a pretty good acronym back in the day too.
Well, yeah, but it's taken out of context, and something, we don't push ourselves with SMART goals. We'll underperform SMART goals. Now you get an awesome goal, or your audacious goal, or big hairy audacious goal, or so bring it back down. I can believe that I will be an astronaut. In grade school, I was watching the Apollo landings on the moon, and we were all gathered in the hallway watching it on the TV, on the black and white TV, with Walter Cronkite there telling us about it. I want to be an astronaut. I'm going to be an astronaut. So you can believe it, but if you don't do it, you don't walk into that.
But you have to take actionable steps toward it.
Yes.
And, there are plenty of people who have become astronauts,
Yep.
but
But it's a select
they
group.
took
It's a select group. Yeah.
it's a very elite group because there's some pretty rigorous requirements that go
Yep.
along with it. Well, Joe, thank you for working through this morning with me. Thank you for being with us, sharing your wisdom.
My pleasure. Congratulations.
It's been really, huh?
Congratulations, Lisa. 4 weeks. 4 weeks for the Friday morning show.
Woo! Yay! I'm enjoying it. I've really liked this format. I would love to hear what our audience thinks about this format that we did today. The keeping the answers short, a little bit of communication back and forth. I'd love to hear the questions that you guys have for us. I thought it was fun today, and it'll be interesting to kind of look back and see little pieces of this video and see what it turned out to look like.
Hey, Lisa, I got one quick question for you.
Yeah.
Of the colors left, what's your favorite color there? You don't have to, let's not ask the question, but what's your favorite color of the colors left?
Let me see. We have pink, blue, green, and gray. In relation to the questions that are listed, or just as a color?
Just as a color, what's there?
It is definitely not gray.
Come on, quick answer.
Not the shade of pink.
Red is going red.
So it would be between blue or green, and I like them both, but I tend to have more green in my wardrobe, I guess. I like them both because I think of green as growth, and I think of blue as like maybe stronger in leadership and mindset, and just kind of this neutral, calming way. So, I think growth in life, and I think peaceful and calm. So
awesome.
There's my thought for the day on color.
Thanks, Lisa. Appreciate the opportunity to join you this morning.
You're welcome. Thank you. So I'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow afternoon.
Yay!
Joe. And I will look forward to seeing our listening audience again Monday morning, 7:45 a.m. Eastern time. And we'll continue our discussion. February is a month of loving on yourself and others, and just all kinds of things along that line. So we're going to dig into that a little bit deeper on Monday. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Like I said earlier, sign up for Blueprint for Success if you haven't, because it is an amazing program. I'm not going to dig into that too much right now, simply because I did earlier, but PRANleadership.com/blueprint. And with that, I'll let you go and wish you all the very best.
Coffee. I gotta go get some coffee.
Yeah, you gotta go get some. I already had my coffee. I am currently looking forward to fish fry for lunch.
Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky. I get tuna fish. Woo!
Well, I'm gonna go have some perch this noon, which I'm really excited about because we don't find perch in Florida too often. Now, I don't know. Have we ever seen it in Florida?
No, it doesn't come down here. They don't swim down here.
Well, I know they don't swim down there, but I don't think they ship them down there either.
No, they don't.
So
all right,
it'll be a perch dinner for me. I will see you later. Have a great day. Have a wonderful weekend, y'all. Be safe and really live into the adventures you dream. Color your future bright. Thanks again for being with us.
Thanks. Bye, all.